What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 24 different altcoins today. If you guys could hit that like button and subscribe, that'd be awesome. I do requests like this 3 times a week. For me, it's on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, but on the charts, technically, it'll be every Friday, Monday, and Wednesday, technically. But for me, where I'm at Mountain Time, it would be Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday evenings. But enough of that. I'm going to go over the list real quick. So pay attention. It seems kind of cryptic whenever I'm just going through a bunch of letters. I will try to remember to leave the list in the description so that it'll cover all the coins that I'm going over in tonight's video. That way you can just kind of skim through and see if any of those topics interest you. But we're going to be talking about SPA, and then GST, VET, SHX, ZRPY, TOOKER, PYTH, WTK, JOWNES, ADA, Giga, LUNC, AVAX, TAO, SNX, Filecoin, Used Car, SUI, XCN, Jasmi, DESO, Swift Coin, Ethereum name service, and to finish it up, we're going to be talking about Dogecoin. So hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. You guys, I do requests, like I said, 3 days a week. Feel free to leave requests in the comments. That's how it happens. There's no special way. You don't have to pay me. And nothing that I do is paid, is a requirement of your payment. If you ever get reached out by somebody imposing as me, and they're trying to take your money, just automatically know that that's not me. I'm not trying to take anybody's money. Everything that I do is for free, man. I can be wrong, so why would I charge you, right? I will be wrong, and I have been wrong, right? So like, why am I going to charge you? And plus, on top of that, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Why would I charge you for something that's a step below, like crystal ball reading? Maybe it's a step above. I don't know. I feel like if I had a gypsy with a crystal ball telling me that my favorite altcoin was going to go to the moon, I would probably trust that more than the TA. But I'm a little stitious, I guess, a little superstitious, as they would say. Enough about me, though. Let's get into this. I'm going to pause the music. We're going to get started. You know what? I'm going to leave that the way it is, I guess, and pause there. We're talking about SPA and GST for Noir. We're talking about this for you, my friends. So looking at it on the daily, it looks like it wants to continue going lower probably. You're very near your low. You are getting toward those weaker readings in the RSI, but you're not really doing anything to show that you want to have proclaimed your bottom yet, right? Like you're still weak. You're hanging out down here below the 40, below the 50. You know, you're chilling. So I bet you've got one last little move down in you. If not more than that, but I would think you've come down quite a ways. I think it's not too far away. Yeah. You're probably going to your 886 right there at 1 cent. You're at 1.2 cents now. I bet you're going low. I feel very confident in that 1 cent right around there. I think that's where you're going. That's SPA. GST now. Green Satoshi token. Weird looking chart, that's for sure, right? A lot of selling off, and now it's not. It's actually showing a little bit of life, huh? That's nice. I like stuff like this, man. I really do. I wonder what's the market cap for something like this. GST, baby. What are you at? No, wait, Steppen, Green Satoshi. Is that what it? It's just this. But that's the thing there. So we're gonna do that. Difference between B and Vchain and still on GST, BSC pages. Okay. Well, market cap is very low. That's all I was trying to see. It's how low the market cap was. Anyways. I don't know where to draw a fib from this thing, man. High to low, all-time high to low. Okay, finding resistance at your 382 common. You're below your 236, but because it's such a big fib, I'll give you a little credit there, I suppose. Let's look at the daily. Maybe, yeah, off of that low is probably the one. Low to high. 61869 zone, beautiful. Touched, you literally tipped the 69. Tipped it. You couldn't have touched it any better, man. Let's see. Your low was at 2.3857 cents. The 69 is at 2.392. Fractions of a penny. Not like fractions of fractions, man. So close. Tipped it. Literally tipped it. And now you're holding support on your 618. You might even be forming an inverse head and shoulders. I like your daily. I like the setup. There are not good things about it. You know, there is hidden bearish divergence technically as of right now, to be fair. I didn't see that at first, but I guess it is actually there. Hidden bearish divergence, yes. The daily has the opportunity to start looking bullish if you can continue upwards in the more immediate term. However, if you cross back below this 618, below about 2.898 cents there, let's just call it 2.9 cents. You close back below that on a daily basis, you're probably going to go, especially because you just got back above it and then low, you're probably going to go down to about 1.85 to 1.41 cents, somewhere in there, with a heavy emphasis on that 1.85 cent area. That would kind of make sense to me. I think you do go down. 1.85 cents, I think, is on your horizon. You're near your low, but I don't know if I'm not quite confident that you found it yet. This move does look nice, but if you continue to close lower, as you did yesterday, and maybe you do today, if you continue to close lower, it'll look like a rejection off the green line that you've shown respect on before here, and then a little bit of respect here even. Not so much there. I mean, kind of right there, right? You broke above it and then found support. You're doing basically the same thing here, except you broke above it and now you're finding resistance actually. It's just a lower high in this little trend, this little consolidation phase. So I have no reason to believe that this is done yet. This is just a lower high and a slew of lower highs. You're looking for your next lower low. That's it. And where's that lower low going to be? I'm thinking 1.85 cents. You're at about 3 cents now from this low to this high. Boom. 1618 right there at 1.88 cents. So somewhere in that 1.8, 1.9 cent area is what I'm thinking for GST. That's that. Let's talk about Vchain. For the Marky P, Vchain for you, sir. And I believe, I'm going to look at this real quick. Hold on. The Marky P. Where are you at? Why can't I find you? There you are. You wanted me to go over the potential for it, right? So beyond just the day-to-day technical analysis, you want to see what my thoughts are for its potential. So we'll go over that. You very well could have found your low. That really does suffice as an area to find. It's a very common area. Once you break out of your accumulation phase to test back and find support, you've got the higher lows here, the lower lows in the RSI. It all looks proper for a low to come in. Your daily RSI doesn't look the best, but it doesn't look bad. You do have hidden bearish divergence, and you are looking like you're rejecting the 50. You might have one more drop in you as well, which makes sense. I think that's true for a lot of cryptos. Yeah, I bet you do. 618 support, tip your 0.5. You didn't quite reach it, but that's good enough. Perhaps you do go up a little bit more over the next couple days, and maybe you don't. I don't know. Your 4 hour is poised to have you continue going higher. But you'd have to do it today. You'd have to do it today. You don't want to close today red. So I guess do that, and perhaps you go up to about 3.7 to 4 cents, maybe all the way up to 4 cents. 3.7 to 4 cents could be your designated area. But I would expect that you do continue to go lower. Look for prices down at around 3 cents, just below 3 cents is kind of what I would think for this thing. Let's do a little bit more real quick. Hold on. I mean, I could be wrong, man. That really could be your low. I don't have enough to declare that at this point in time. Get above 4 cents, man. If you can get above 4 cents, I'll be convinced. Really 3.95 cents. Get above that and I'll be convinced, especially if you start doing it immediately. As far as the potential goes for this thing, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say because I don't know all the ins and outs of Vchain, but let's call it a 2.5. Let's call it a $2.6 billion market cap. 2.6. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Yes, you can. That's phenomenal. I would be so sad if the microphone was muted this whole time for whatever reason. Sometimes that happens. I've been very good about doing the mic checks, but man, when I'm not, the amount of frustration you guys you'll never see because I don't post those videos, or sometimes I do and I'm unaware of it until the next day. But anyways, enough of that. $2.6 billion market cap. 2.6. If you were to do a 10x, right, that'd be a $26 billion market cap, essentially right there. So 26 billion at $36, or sorry, 36.6 cents. That's pretty high, I suppose, but that would give you new all-time highs, right? High to low here. Really, you'd be reaching for that 1272. That keeps you within, you know, $40 billion or so, maybe $50 billion or so. I mean, that's definitely achievable. I would say that even $1.90 is possible. Anywhere from 65 cents, it's a very big range, but 65 cents to $1.90 by the end of this cycle could happen. The bigger the news, the bigger the what's the word I'm looking for? The hype on Vchain this cycle, the more likely you're going to see that $1.90 area. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's possible. You could even go past that, but that would already put you over $100 billion. I think Vchain is worthy of that kind of market cap, but will it actually see that? That remains to be seen. You very well could top off here, but either way, from the minimum expectation at this point would be about, if you were to see new all-time highs, the minimum expectation would be a 17.5x, with the maximum expectation at a 52, 53x. With the total acceptance that you could go beyond that, even, right? Even from its current prices, it is 100xable. That would give it an over $250 billion market cap, which would be insane. You never know, man. There might be some big things in the works for Vchain that have yet to be seen. Anyways, SHX is the next one, stronghold here. We're gonna look at it on not MEXC, but Gate.io, because it has more history. I don't like this. I think you're going lower. I don't know. I might take that back. You look kind of bearish, but where you've done this once, twice, this is your third time. Do you see the difference, right? You see how it's different than either of these other two highs, right? I mean, I suppose it's kind of like this one, without the follow through yet, so I guess we need a little bit more time. Your daily RSI looks pretty constructive, I'm not gonna lie. I like the daily. It's better than most charts these days. 4 hour looks fine, whatever. Kind of weird, but whatever. High to low. 618, below your 382. I don't like that. But so what? You could go a little bit like, you could, so what? I want to say you go down from here. You go down. You're at 0.00858. I would expect that you hold 0.008 or 0.0079, at least around there. If not, then you're going lower. But I like this as your low, and I'm going to stick with that. I like that as your low. So even if you go lower, maybe 0.0069 is your lowest price that you could hit. I think you're on your way up, though, inevitably. But for the time being, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe the rest of this week, I don't know, you'll be moving down. But I think you're doing things differently. I think you're positioned properly in your daily RSI. I think you're about to break out of this consolidation phase, this little bubble here, and continue onward. And where are you going to go? If we look at the relative high to the relative low, at least the first low, I like it a little more now. I would say 2 to 3 cents is where your next target's going to be. That's SHX. And inevitably, though, in the more immediate term, I think down. But then short-term time frames, I'd say it's going up. Immediate term means today, the rest of this week. Short-term means after this week. Potentially even after like the next 3 days, something like that. ZRPY. Oh, by the way, this is the last two are at the request of the determined. ZRPY, is that a Dex coin? My friend, did I write it down improperly? The determined. You wrote in ZRPY. I'm looking at it now. SHX ZRPY. Unless I typed in the wrong thing, which I don't think I did. ZRPY. Not right, my friends. So unfortunately, we won't be able to do that one. Tooker. The determined. If you're listening to this, my friend, just figure out if it's actually that ticker. Figure out how I can get it to a chart, because I just tried and I don't know how. Or if it's not that ticker and it was a typo, which that's probably what the deal was. I mean, hold on, ZRPY. Yeah, it's like literally nothing. So if you can figure it out, I will happily do it in my next video. But we're going to talk about Tucker today, or is it like Tucker Carlson? I was about to say, is it supposed to be like Tucker Carlson? Maybe this is a Dex coin. So this is at the request of Flower Child. Flower Child branching out to the meme coins here. This is probably the right one, yeah. A little bit of the good stuff, you know. Let's see. Yep. All right. Well, people like Tucker apparently. They like Tucker Carlson. Volume's dying off. You're in a consolidation phase. When your volume gets so low that you just have to do something, you're going to do something. I don't know. You're moving sideways is the best I could guess. You're going to continue to move sideways until you get increasing volume, but don't get excited. If you see volume like this, it could still count as overall decreasing volume. So you would need some kind of significant move to solidify that as well. I do think you want to move higher. Why? Oh, I don't have the relative strength index. If you heard a bunch of clicks, that's because I was trying to get the RSI pulled up here. It just wasn't letting me. 10. I think you might be moving down, actually. It's neutral. You're rejecting the 50. Showing weakness a little bit. Yeah, I rejected the 618, yeah. But from this low to this high, you held the 618 technically. You did hold it. What's the 4 hour look like? The 4 hour looks more sad than the daily does, that's for sure. And the weekly, I don't know, it's too new to say. I don't know, Tucker, maybe you do pull back. Maybe the limelight's on other memes for now. It's really hard to say. If I was interested in this meme, I might DCA up here at this value because you're like right in the middle of the range, although there's plenty of people that would say you should never buy in the middle of a range. You should always look to buy at the bottom of a range, right? Which I think this is very clearly identifiable, like where we are in the range is not at the bottom. But I would think DCAing is probably fine, even, I mean, if you're wanting to get in, because you have been moving sideways for so long. If you were to consolidate lower, if you were to break out and go lower, you'd probably form a low somewhere around here, and then inevitably you would work up. You're just going to be, if you buy here and we go down, if we break out to the downside, you're going to be stuck in that position, as they say, for a little while, right? You're not in the red, you're just stuck, depending on how you go about it. But at this point, it's any man's game. I don't know. Any Tucker's game. I don't really have a genuine opinion on this other than I don't like the double top look that you have, I suppose. It is like a rather sideways moving of consolidation, which I do think is kind of bullish, actually. But all it would take to turn it bearish is a little breaky poo right below here. And not wicks like you've been doing, but a break. You found support. That looks nice. If you close below 4.77 cents on a daily basis, I have less hopes for you. Contrary to that, if you can close above here, close above 12.56, really you'd probably only need to close above this. Maybe this one then. Maybe this high. If you close above 9.737 cents, you're probably going up. Those are your lines in the sand. Until then, sideways. I'd feel safest in saying you're moving sideways until you're not. You're getting close to the end of this consolidation. Which way will you break? I don't feel too confident either way. I would probably say you're going to move down. Probably. And where would you move down to? Low to high, relative high. Maybe down to a cent. 0.3 cents, somewhere around there. Anything and everything in between, it's possible. You could also break up, though. I'm not confident on this one at all. This one's got me a little shooker with the Tucker, P-Y-T-H now. Pith, as they say. Pith. Man, that's just a horrible Pith. I don't like that name, Pith. Pith. It pithed me off. Let's do Kraken. Sure. Maybe crypto. Yeah, Kraken's fine. Okay, Kraken it is. So from low here to high here, we're at the 61869 zone, as a lot of these are. If you look at the daily, you can see the RSI is absolute trash. Trash garbage. It looks terrible, and it looks like you want to go lower. So yes, I think you do. You closed above the 618 2 days ago, but with yesterday's notion, you actually closed back below it. I think this is a nice little haha, just kidding, we're going down, and we probably are going to go down, laughing all the way. Low to high here. Yeah. You're at 42.5 cents now. I think that 30 to 33 cent zone looks really nice, actually. That's probably where you find support. Probably. 30 to 33 cents, somewhere in that area. If not there, then you might go below 28 cents, but I think 30 to 33 cents is where you're going to go. I'm pretty confident on that. WTK, at the request of the Unleavened Baptist, we're going to be talking about that for you, my friend. BitTrue, 7.11 cents. Yeah, WTK, you've sold off a little bit, haven't you? You sold off. Unleavened Baptist, how are you feeling about that sell that you had? Wasn't it? I want to say, I don't remember where I was saying that, or I was putting it on the Discord that it's probably a good time to get out. But was it here? I really don't remember. I really don't remember. If it was the day before, then oh well, you know, you're still a little bit high, but I don't know. I think enough about me trying to rectify a bad call that I may or may not have had. It was bad in the sense that it kept going up, but is it bad now? Like, are you below the point where I was saying it might be a good time to sell? If so, then I guess it's a good call, you know. But I don't remember where I made the call in the first place. If we take that low to this high, I think you go lower. I do, yeah. It looks so obvious, right? I mean, what did you do with this high? What did you do with this high? What did you do with this high? What are you going to do with this high? They're all in a straight line. What are you going to do? You're in a channel, you know. Getting higher in the RSIs. Bearish engulfing candle this week, depending on how it closes. We still have 2 days and 12 hours left. Let's see how it goes. BitTrue's got different timing than everything else. 4-hour RSI looks a little bit bearish, actually. And the daily, I think, does look a little bearish, too. You have the potential to be bullish right here. You would need today to close green, and you need to start closing above 8 cents, 7.9 cents. You start closing above 7.9 cents, I'll be convinced that this is your low and you are moving higher. Closing above 7.9, not getting above, closing above on a daily basis, 7.9 cents. Until then, I'm convinced you're going lower. And how low are you going to go? I mean, call it a guess. Call it a wild guess, but I would assume you're probably going to go somewhere along this line here. Probably. That's my thoughts. I would think, you know, over time, maybe down to 4.20, 4.3, something like that, cents. We take this low here to this high. You went down to your 786, tipped it very nicely, actually. Very, very nice. Tipped it literally quite to the T there. High to, or low to high here. You did not hit your 786. This time you tipped the 618. Beautiful 618 bounce. Nice. Good to see. Kind of on a double bottom there too. Low to high here. Again with your 618 shenanigans. You did it once, twice, 3 times, and you went up from there. So if we take the relative low of that range to this high, I suppose the minimum expectation based off of what we could see would be between your 618 and your 786, right? Something like that. And I feel like that lines up pretty well with that line, right? Maybe not your 786, but your 618 does. Yeah. Depending on when, though, right? As time goes on, as we get toward like Q3, this bubble becomes less likely. But before Q2 is over, I guess it'd be into Q3 because we're in Q2 now. We're almost at the end of Q2, so by the end of Q3, I would expect that you are below 5 cents, yet above, I would say, 3.6 cents. That's what makes sense to me. So, yeah. WTK moving down, probably going to take its time. That's the best guess that I have, to be completely fair. But again, prove me wrong on that. Prove me wrong. Start looking bullish if you can close days above this low here. If you can close above 7.9 cents, closing above there, I'll be a little bit shaken. I'll start to wonder if that isn't a low and if we are moving higher, if we're about to do something different and potentially break out of this upward sloping channel. However, until we see evidence of that, I'm convinced that you are in an upward sloping channel. You're at the top of it, the resistance zone, of which you probably come back down to your support zone and tally ho, tally on, tallywhackers from there. That's WTK. Let's move on from there. Jones. We got Tucker. And now we're doing Jones. Jones. I know that's what it's supposed to be. This is also at the request of the Unleavened Baptist, in case that wasn't clear. Looking at it on the daily, yeah, it's moving down now. So probably keeps moving down. It probably does. A little bit of a double top there. I don't know. I really don't know where to take the fib. This might be a good one. You could hold support around 0.003 to 0.002, somewhere in that range. You might go lower. Who knows, man? You might go all the way back down to the land of the 3 zeros. I don't know. At this rate, it's really hard to say. But my best guess is you're just getting started on this down move. So regardless of where the price is, I would give it time, right? Like you moved up, let's see, from April 21st until May 13th, so not even quite a month. You've been doing this for now, not even a week. I would say give it at least another like week and a half to see where you're at. Personally, I wouldn't, on any days that do this where you just pump up a lot like that, like what if today or tomorrow you go all the way back up here, I would just phase that out. If I was holding any, I would take it as a chance to get out. Not financial advice, just my opinion. And really what I would do if I was looking to buy this, I would just not even look at the price. I would look at the calendar and I would wait. I would wait at least a week, but probably, let's see, I would say at least half the time that it took to make this move from its low here to the high. 22, so a week and a half total, right? A week and a half total would be, let's call it 10 days, just to be on the safe side. So 10 days from the high. And this is a total BS way of guessing, but it's the best I got because it's such a new chart, man. Yeah, May 23rd, May 24th, somewhere around there. Next week is what I would think. That might be the time where you find your low, and of which I would think between 0.003 to 0.002 sounds believable. Could go lower, though. You never know. Anyways, that's Jones. I hope that leaves you with less questions than it does answers, but ADA is the next one. And this is at the request of Smooth Operator. Smooth Operator coming in with the ADA request tonight. Let's see. Makes sense, Smooth. I know you like those stable coins, man. Not that it's been too stable lately, but I mean, just roughly, you know, since August of 2022, since June, it's in the same area, you know. Hasn't done really too much, too exciting. Had a little bit of excitement. Now you're pulling back. This, I would say this is kind of exciting right here. Holding support potentially at previous areas of resistance, previous areas of support as well. It's not a bad look. You could go lower. It wouldn't surprise me. Let's see. Oh, I'm having a hard time with this one. Let me pull out the RSI. Let's see. You might have found your low. You might be at your low. ADA might be going up. It's at 6% this week. Daily RSI looks a little bit vibrant. Like there's a little bit of life in there. We need to see more, but this might be one of those rare conditions where you have this like bearish looking pattern with the descending highs and the flat base, but it actually breaks it. We might be breaking it now even. I think you found your low. I think ADA found its low. Yeah. Somewhat confident in that. If I'm wrong, well, then you have a little bit lower to go, don't you? Probably down to about 38 cents if I'm wrong. 38 to 31 cents, something like that. But I don't know, man. Let's see. What would be a nice thing to see? Okay, there we go. Close above 52.5 cents. Close above 52.5 cents on a daily. I will be utterly and unequivocally completely convinced. I can't think of any other words to say. I'll be convinced that that's the low once you close above here. Until then, especially if you can't get above this red line, I would suppose the ball is in the bear's court. But I have a feeling. I kind of have a feeling that this is the low. I like the daily RSI. I like what you're doing with the price. I'd like to see more volume come in, but you haven't really broken out yet. Maybe you get that soon, like today, the rest of this week. Yeah, I could see ADA moving up. ADA's been one of those that sometimes it does its own thing while everything else is consolidating or moving down even. It can do its own thing. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm just saying what I want to say. I don't know. I feel like that's true though. Though October was a time when a lot of altcoins were doing well. Yeah, that was the ETF dump there, I suppose. Maybe I'm wrong on that. It likes to do its own thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's look at ADA real quick. ADA BTC. This might help. Yeah, you kind of look like you're at your low point on this too, actually. Yeah. If not, you have a little lower to go, but I would say you probably are at your low point on this. You might have even just formed kind of like a double bottom look right here. If you go lower, it's going to be by a little bit, but that really helps me kind of believe that was your low. I think that was your low in price, in USD price. I think you are moving up regardless. So where are you going to move up to in the more immediate terms? Again, let's look for 52.5 to break, but likely you're going to that 62 to 65 cent area. That's ADA. Let's talk about Giga now for Frog. We're talking about Giga for Frog. Giga, and you wanted me to, you had it, didn't you? You had the contract name. I'll look it up in a second. Giga, is it Giga Chad, Giga Swap? It doesn't show me. Oh man, am I gonna have to look it up on my phone? Because how do I find? It would normally tell me if I was on my phone. Can I do it like this? Nope. Nope. I might have to, man. I don't. Okay, hold on. Because you gave me the contract name. Contract 63L, yeah. Giga on Sol. Frog, it might be better, man, if you give me like a market cap instead. I'm trying here. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can figure it out. Maybe I'll have to go to CoinGecko. I mean, we can check out Giga Chad and see. Contract 63LF. I think that's right. I think that's it, isn't it? LFDM XCQJ9. That's it, bro. This is the one. Giga Chad it is. Okay, cool. Well, you made it easy for me at least. First choice. Of course it's Giga Chad. All right, so looking at this here. I think, I don't know. I don't like it. Let's throw the indicators on there and see. Relative strength. Get you down at a 10. Bearish divergence. It's already played out. Losing volume as you're moving up. Not good. You had your breakout move, and where's the follow through? It's just not there. You are still poised bullishly on the RSI, but it would not take much to proclaim bearishness, would it? High to low here. Deep extensions achieved. 1272 still being held. You do look productive on your fibs. I will say you have that going for. I don't like the volume. I do like the RSI. For now, I like the RSI. Oh, the 4 hour gives me hope, bro. Okay, good. A little bit of saving grace there for who is it that I'm doing this for? Frog. A little bit of saving grace there for you, Frog. Yeah, I gotta say, I don't know. I'm a little bit less worried about it now. I'd like to see you get some volume coming in. If not, if volume keeps decreasing, you might move up, sure, but it might just be a little bit higher. You might go, you're at 0.00411 right now. You might go up about 100%, which is nice, to 0.00823, but that might be it. Maybe maybe go all the way up to 1 cent even. But if volume doesn't come through, that might be your last stop before correcting a little bit more. And when you correct, you might even go lower than your current price. But I do like, for the more immediate term, I think you are going higher. Above half a cent, probably up to 0.008 to even a cent itself. I think you're going up. So looking good, Giga Chad. Looking rather Chadly of you. Let's talk about Lunacy. Luna Classic here, Terra Luna. I'm just, is this the right? Yeah. I want to look real quick. Luna 2. It's on Kraken, right? Just out of my own personal curiosities here. Okay. I'm not investing in it. I don't own any Luna 2, just so you guys know. I had airdrops from it at one point in time, and that's the reason I was checking on it, because I sold my airdrops and put them into other coins. I was just seeing if that was, did I make the right deal, you know. Low to high. You look fine, Lunacy. You look fine. You probably found your low with that move there, down to your 786. You probably did. Yeah, you're moving up, probably. You probably are. Will you go past this high? I'm not confident in that. Perhaps you do. But at the moment, I'm inclined to believe you'll move up to about 30155 to 3017, somewhere in that area. And being that you found support here, I think it's easy to assume you could move up to 302, 3022, somewhere in there as well. But let's look at 30155 to 3017 first. Let's see how you do with this resistance point, this golden ratio area. Let's see how you do. I think you are moving up, Lunacy. This one's for Flower Child as well. Avax, Lunacy and Avax for Flower Child. Avax looking a little bit less good. Yes, a little bit less good. Daily RSI has potential. It also has the potential to be bad. If today closes red, even a little bit red, that wouldn't look good. That would kind of solidify this rejection off the 50. Where if you close green, especially the further away you go, the deeper into the 50 you go, that could set you up for some potential good things. It's dependent on how you close this week out. So Flower Child, request this again for the next request day on Sunday, because that'll be at the end of the week. Request this one again. I don't like how your fibs look. I don't like how you look at the price either, and I don't necessarily like your RSI, though it is in a position where it could start to look good. The 4 hour is bullish at the moment, kind of, but you're at an area where you might turn around. I'm not confident one way or another. At this point in time, I am leaning toward the idea that you do go lower than this low, in which case we would take this low to high here. You'd move down. You're at $34.76 right now. You'd move down to about $27 to $24, maybe even lower, is what my thoughts are for Avalanche. However, actually, I'm kind of curious. I would bet we're above the 50 on this. Let's just see. And if not, it's not the end of the world. But yes, we are. Yes, we are. However, you know, this literally might be the prime area to buy. It very well could be. I don't know. Time will tell. I'd like to see the rest of this week close before I make a true decision. At the moment, I suppose if I was leaning one way, I would say I am leaning toward the idea of you going down, right? Broke out down, consolidating. It's your consolidation of a downward move. You know, that's just my thoughts, but I could be wrong. You ended this move on a lot of volume. That really could be the end of this move. Your daily RSI is set up to be bullish, but I want to see what you do with the next few days. So let's see how you do with the rest of the week, and then come back to this Flower Child, or anybody curious about Avalanche. Just request it again after today. Okay, I won't talk about it tomorrow probably. Maybe on the live stream whenever we do a live stream. I will do a live stream, you guys, either tomorrow or the next day, either Friday for me or Saturday. So it'd be Saturday or Sunday on the charts. Early Saturday or early Sunday, right at the daily open. So if we don't talk about it in the live stream, I'll bring it up on the next request day, which would be about 3 days from now. But Yeah, definitely bring this one up again. I'm curious to see where it is because it's got potential. I don't like the volume, but it does have potential to have bottomed. I like this volume here. I don't like the volume now with this move, but I do like that there is genuine potential for this to have already found its low, but I'm not completely convinced yet. Again, as bullish as I'm sounding, or as like hopeful as I'm sounding, I want to be clear. If I had to make a bet, I have no option. If I don't make a bet, I die. I have to make a bet. I would feel more comfortable betting that it's going lower, personally. Okay, I wouldn't feel comfortable making a bet either way, but that would be the preferred. Just going off of my own analysis there. TAO, BitTensor, Binance. That's the next one. For Yamahard, we're talking about TAO for Yamahard. Like Yamaha, but Yamahard, bro. Yamahard, bro. Let's see. KuCoin, maybe. Nope, we'll use it on MEXC. MEXC it is. All right. Yes, BitTensor. Things are getting a bit tenser week by week as you're moving down, aren't they? No RSI. Why? Oh, it's because I switched it to the 123. That's why. Good things, bad things, whatever. Yeah, good things. Good things. I think you got some good things going for you. You got some bad things too. Okay. Yeah, you probably go lower. I think you do. You're close to your low. It looks like a double bottom, but I don't think it is. I think you have one more low to go. Get that bullish divergence formed, and then you're there. You probably literally touch 325 to 300, somewhere in that range. You're at 381 now, so you go just a little bit lower, and that's it. Prove me wrong. Start going up today. Get above 449, and I will be convinced that I'm wrong. Until then, I'm not. So that's TAO. For Yamahard, SNX for Ashagarg. We're talking about SNX and File G for Ashagarg. Synthetics. Looking weak, man. This is one of the weaker looking RSIs. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you went lower. You're pretty close to your low, probably. Oh, man. This trend is what's giving me second thoughts, but at the same time, who cares? It's just a horizontal line. I think you go lower. I bet you break this line and that's your low, right? It's not right at the line, which would be ideal. It's right at the point that would make people be like, oh no, is this chart going to trash? And then boom, it goes up, because that's what happens with these diagonal lines, man. People pay attention to them, but just to mess with you, essentially. Let's look at the fibs. Let's look at the relative fibs for security. Yeah, maybe you go literally right down to about $2.10. You're at $2.60 now. That would still be a higher low. You'd break out of this upward sloping trend line that you'd have. That might cause people to capitulate or panic sell, and then the smart money comes in, buys it, and boom, you go up. We see it all the time. Where your weekly RSI is, where your daily RSI is, it wouldn't be crazy at all to see you go lower. However, you did close above your 1272 for technically 2 days in a row. So if you can keep going up, man, you get above $2.66 today and close, or over the next couple days. If you can close above there, I'll be convinced that was your low. I mean, after all, you did have a little slip breakout, and it actually kind of looks like a fake out, to be completely fair. I don't like the volume. The volume, where is the volume? It's nowhere. It's nowhere to be seen. But that's okay. Volume can be weird, man. It doesn't need to be 100% the way you want it to be. 4 hour kind of looks good. Keep doing good things today, man. Get above $2.65, and I'll be convinced that is your low, because it actually does kind of look like a fake out at the moment. But for the time being, I am bearish to about $2.10. That's my thoughts, with the full acknowledgement that I could be completely wrong, but I'm sticking to the books on this one. Filecoin. Again, for Ashagarg here. Filecoin, yes, you are looking all right on your weekly, on your daily, kind of looking the same as synthetics, actually. I'm curious to see. I think you go lower, though. I'd say I'm pretty confident on that as well. Low to high here. We'll see you at $4.60. Yeah. 460 to 420, somewhere in there, probably. That's my thoughts. That's Filecoin. Let's talk about used car now for Jordan Bailey. Used car. A gently used 2001 Civic. Oh, it does. I didn't notice that. Okay, I just noticed that now, but this would have helped earlier with Frog's Giga, because it says it right there. It gives you the, I didn't see that. It's kind of like faded, yeah. Anyways, used car gives you the contract. That's what I was trying to say. We're at about 2 cents now. Looking good, looking friendly, looking frisky. I like the RSI on the daily. It's neutral, but so is the price, but it's in a more bullish posturing. You've worked your way back up. Held the 40, beautiful. You are holding the 60 as resistance, but hey, the way you look, I can't help but think that you're going to move higher now. This line I've got drawn on here. I don't know when I drew it on there. Maybe it was back here. Maybe it was some other time. I don't know. Obviously, probably the last time I did an analysis on used car. I would assume, based off this line, based off my past self drawing this line, it looks about proper to me that you're in the middle of this range, finding support and resistance throughout time on this consolidation phase at this level. When you break above it, when you break above 2.88 cents, you're at 2 cents now essentially. When you break above 2.88 cents, which is not a wick, it's not even 2 wicks or 3 wicks, right? It's a day to close. When you get a day to close above it, I would assume at that point you're on your way to new highs, at least past this relative high, maybe even on to new highs all in all. Get above it. Get above 2.88, and then we'll talk. Until then, sideways. It's my best guess. Sideways. Yeah. RSIs won't help. Sideways it is. You're kind of in the middle, so who knows? You're at 1.99 cents, maybe go to 1.77 cents, and then you move up to 2.48 cents, and then you move back down, and you move back up, for who knows how long. But break that 2.88 cent area, break it, don't wick above it, break it, and we can talk about prices up at like 15 cents or higher. It's not really a good analysis, but that's the best I got on that. SUI is the next one. Sweet for Mohammed El Mensi. Talk about this one for you, Mohammed. Let's see, Binance. I think this is fine, sweet. Let's see, yeah. Okay. Having your first little pullback, aren't you? 382, closing below it. Yeah, you really could have found your low. That's a nice little double bottom, tweezer bottom look right there, but I wouldn't be surprised if you went lower, just based off the fibs themselves. Let's see how you do. Mohammed, this might be another one, like I was saying with, what was it? With AVAX. We might have to check this one by the end of this week. Because you've got some good things going for you. I'm not going to lie. It's just not common to bounce off your 0.5, but here you are doing it twice. So, whatever. I like your RSI, the double bottom that you have there. You're above the 40. You're still in a position where you could go lower, but as long as you're moving higher, this will just start to look more bullish and bullish by the day. Getting above the 382 would be a really nice thing to see. Closing above $1.10. And then really $1.45 is your last kind of, or I guess $1.43 is your last kind of test there. Let's see. Let's wait for the rest of the week to close out. I'd like to check back in on this one. Mohammed or anybody who's interested in SWI, if you could just request this again after this video. Maybe we'll talk about it on the live stream, maybe not, I don't know. But request it again. I'd like to see how it looks at the end of the week, because you really could turn around from here or go up. I'm not convinced either way. The volume looks nice. The price action does kind of look nice, I'm not going to lie. Of all of them that I've been like 50-50 on, I feel like most of the time, if not actually every single one, I've said it's going lower. This one I'm actually going to stick to the idea that you have found your low. But let's see how the rest of the week closes. I'd like to revisit this one. That's SUI XCN for Matt of 2006. Matt's got the next three after this. XCN, Jasmi, Deso, DESO, and Swift coin. Onyx coin here at 0.00199. I bought more, you guys, on this little dip here down to literally, let's see, 0.00191. I bought at 0.00195. I actually meant to do an update on that, but I didn't. It's been a hectic couple of days for me, guys. But I either bought. It was this day. I bought at the opening of this day. That's what it was, actually, right there. Anyways, at any rate, man, it looks like you might be going lower. I don't know. I kind of like the way this RSI looks, right? Like I was talking about this in my Bitcoin video yesterday, that rejecting the 50 is not good, but when you're doing this, when you're crowding it, you're not really rejecting it, are you? What are you rejecting? You're rejecting this 40 area, right? You're rejecting that, and you're crowding the 50, right? Like you're not even, this one time you tipped it, and boom, all the way up to the 50. This actually might be really good for XCN, and that kind of makes sense because I do think you found your low already. Time will tell, but you're probably just consolidating until you're not. I mean, it could be weeks, it could be months, but inevitably I do think you're moving up. I accept that as the low. I do believe that is the low. So the next move, really, regardless of what we do over the coming weeks, where we probably move up and down and sideways or whatever, the next move really is going to take us to about 0.006 to 0.0085, somewhere around there. We're at 0.002 right now, so that's XCN, best that I got in my opinion. I'm thinking we might see a breakout soon over the next 2 weeks. When I say a breakout, I just mean a relative breakout, nothing crazy, but like, you know, something like that potentially. A regular retracement off of this relative high to low here, you know, a little bit higher. That could promote from the current price, you know, a nice little 50% growth there. Hey, that could happen over the next couple weeks, but time will tell. We'll see. XCN, I'm very confident it's found its low. Jasmi, we're talking about Jasmi now. On Coinbase, sure. Yeah, dude, that's a flag right there, right? Or a pennant, however you want to look at it. Is it just breaking out sideways? Is that what it's doing? Kind of. You're at the point, you're almost like at the beyond the point that the apex would be, right? You're almost there. You're almost there. I don't know. You could be breaking out to the upside. The RSI does look pretty resilient. I think it does. It's a neutral pattern, but with a bullish environment, I think you are moving higher. And when you move higher, I mean, technically, there's two ways to measure. You would measure the pattern itself and then the breakout point, and that'd be good for move up to about 3.8 cents. Or, you know, if we are to treat it like some kind of flag, you would technically go from here to there, and then I like to draw from the bottom. Some people take the breakout point, but I take the bottom. It's a more conservative target. That'd be good for a move up to about 10 cents, man. You're at about 2 cents now, so what was it, 3.8 to 10 cents, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. At any rate, you're holding this 382 really nice. Really nice. By the fibs, the next move would be about 5.5 cents to 7.7 cents, and you could move past that, man. If the measure move is 10 cents, which it is, right? That doesn't mean you have to hit it, and it doesn't mean you have to stop there. You could go past it, you could fall short of it. There's definitely likely targets at 12.3 cents to 5.5 cents. You know, that makes sense as well. So time will tell, but I do think you're getting ready to break out to the upside. It's going to happen any week now. You'll probably start to break this pattern this month, and then next month is where you'll see the move come in, right? Early next month, middle of next month, maybe even the end of this month, but we're getting close. I'm not so confident on that. I think you will break out. You could even be above like 2.5 cents by the end of this month, but will you be above 3 cents? I'm not so sure. That's probably a next month thing. Jasmi, looking frisky on Jasmi. Deso. Decentralized social. Deso. Ooh. Looks like a low liquidity coin. Market cap. Yeah, it's not the worst. It's not the best. It's weird. It's definitely a weird looking chart in my opinion. All right, so high to low. Expected zone, at an area that I'd expect you to find a bounce. So if you haven't found your low, you're very, very near it. Very, very, very near it. Maybe you go down to $18. You're at $20 now. But if I was curious, if I was looking to buy this thing, I would just get in. I would just say, screw it. This is a perfect price to get in. Maybe you go all the way to $15. I don't know. But even then, I'm still in the boat of like, if I was about this thing, I'd be like, let's go. This is good prices. Daily RSI does look terrible. But you look like you want to move up in the more immediate terms, right? You could still even go down afterwards. But for the time being, for the more immediate term, I think you do want to move up. Probably up from here, yeah. You'll probably move up. I wouldn't even be surprised if you moved up past this little high here at $25. You're at $20 now. It's such a weird chart, man. The 4-hour looks bullish. I'll be right back. I gotta go check on my daughter. I'm back. Okay, so I don't really know what to do with this thing, man. I think you're moving up. Let's see how you do. You're at $20 now. Let's see how you do at that $25 area. If not, maybe $27 to $28. If you can break that, cool, you're moving up higher. If not, well, maybe you're moving lower. But for the time being, I think you are moving up higher in the more immediate term. So, and if you're not at your low, you're very, very near it. I would accept that you could go as low as about $15, even $14, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was your low here, man, honestly. But time will tell. At any rate, whether you go lower or you found your low, whatever, you're probably moving up over the next coming days, coming week or two, probably. Swift coin on Coinbase. A little bit lower, didn't you go? I think I've been calling for lower prices, haven't I? Or was that it? I wonder, is that the area that I was looking for? I feel like I said 3 cents. Maybe I did say 4 cents, I don't know. 2272 to your 1618 is very common. Come on, man. Oh, I don't know, man. It's not the most vibrant looking thing on the block, is it? I think you go lower. I think you go around 3 cents. You're at 4.5 cents now. Prove me wrong. Get above 5. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not at 4.5 cents now. You're at 0.0045. I'm talking about 0.003 cents, 0.0035, somewhere in there. Not 3 cents, my bad. Prove me wrong. Close above half a cent. 0.005142. Close above that purple line there. on a daily for 2 days or a weekly for 1 week. Just close above it, and I'll be convinced that this was your low. However, if you can't do that, then, well, I'm not convinced, and the next place to convince me would be about 0.0033388 to 0.003, around that area. That's Swiftcoin. I think it is going lower, though. Ethereum name service, ENS. I thought it was ENS. Coinbase. Dell, didn't you have a specific question to this one? We're doing this one for Dell, by the way. Maybe you did. I didn't save it if you did. I feel like you did, though. I don't know. Let's see. You're probably just wondering where it's going. Tipped your 61869 area, rejecting the 382. This is a common setup when doing one of two things. Either boom, bouncing off the 618, or boom, going lower. Which one will you do? That's the question, right? I like this as your low. I like it. Let's see what you do. It'd be really nice if you held this 1330 area. 1330, 1340. If you can hold that, that's really nice. Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great, bro. I think you do. Yeah, if you can close above this 1565 area, you can close above there. You're probably moving up to 2020. And at that point, when you're making moves up here, I think it's pretty convincing that that's your low. I think that's your low. I think you're moving up from here. Yeah. And then over time, you know, you'll just move higher. But you're kind of in this grand accumulation phase of this whole thing's lifetime, right? You're just in the middle of it. So is it a good time to buy? Well, you know what I was saying earlier, it's not normally a good time to buy in the middle of a range. Is it a good time to sell? Well, also probably not. Though if I was curious about this thing and I wanted to buy, I'd probably DCA. I'd see no reason why not to DCA here. I'm very confident that's the low. I could be wrong, but hey, look at what you did, right? Found support. You definitely found support and maintained above the 123 weekly moving average on previous areas of resistance, previous areas of support and resistance and support back here. So I think that's your low. It's a very convincing line to me. So that's that. Let's finish this bad boy up with Dogecoin for Mr. Chris Wildfong with the best name in the house. It's because his name is Chris. Dogecoin USD. Let's see. High to low here. Oh, I got excited for a second. Yeah, you tipped your 1272 and now you're finding support. Okay, that's yeah. I think you would have moved up already if that wasn't your low. I think you would have moved up already. Dogecoin. I forgot which chart I was thinking of, but then whenever I said Dogecoin, I'm like, oh, hey, that's good because I actually have been calling for Dogecoin to go lower. So yeah, I think it will go lower. I will say, let's call a dog here, though. Maybe the 4 hour will help us with this. It kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders right here, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And the volume is pretty damn perfect for that kind of look, actually. Just like dying off. It doesn't need to break out to the upside, or maybe it does. Maybe Dogecoin moves all the way back to 20 cents before going lower down to 10 cents, you know. Time will tell. Because, look, if you moved up to 20 cents from here, right, up to here, you're just at this point of resistance that you found resistance at before, right? In this consolidation phase at the top here, reject it one last time and go down. It'd be a lower high. I don't know. Where you have this inverse head and shoulders look, you kind of have like a regular head and shoulders look, kind of. It's not the prettiest. The volume looks right, though. You got your little neckline there. I don't know, man. I suppose you'd actually draw the head and shoulders like this, right? You'd like do it like that. I don't know, because that's your neckline that you'd break to the downside. Yeah, Dogecoin's probably going down. If it moves up from here, I'm still convinced it's going down. Where's it going to go to? We'll see you down at about 10 cents or lower over time. It's not going to happen in a week. It's not going to happen in a month. It's going to take months to grind out to these prices. Dogecoin, you guys, is likely going to be one of two things, okay? Either extremely boring or extremely volatile over the coming months. And I'm in the camp that it'll be boring, but I could be wrong. Anyways, I do think Dogecoin has a lot of potential. By the end of the cycle, it's worth about 15 cents now. I could see it being worth several dollars. When I say several, I mean like $4, $5 even, like by the end of this cycle. I know it sounds crazy. You'll not hear anybody else in crypto talking about these numbers. They're all comfortable with talking about $1 to $2 even, like maybe $2. I'm like, no, dude, this thing's at least hitting $2. $4 or higher actually is a genuine target. It's like around like 460, or maybe it's like 420 is the target. And there's even targets above $5 as well. But just to give you a quick little glimpse of that, high to low, all-time high to the cycle low, relative low. Oh, that's a nice hold above the 382 there. Not gonna lie, that's actually not a bad hold. But you could go back to your 236 and still be fine as well. So, and I think you will. Dogecoin isn't really an early cycle performer; it's a late cycle performer. $1.60, $4.13. You know, right in here, that's your expected area. I think you're gonna crush that. Every single cycle Dogecoin has had, it's at least hit its 1618. So I think it'll do that, and that's not saying much. This would be its third cycle, but still, this all-time high broke through its 1618. This all-time high here did the same thing. This one actually hit its like 2272, but I don't think Dogecoin's going to be worth that. I do think it could genuinely be worth $4 to $5 by the end of this cycle, but we'll see. Time will tell. Anyways, guys, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. That's it. That's all I got for the video. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, I hope you have a good day, good night, wherever you are. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.